Cam. Chelsey Danielson. Nice to meet you again.
Good to see you again, Chelsey.
Well, I'm so glad that these dates and this time worked out for our schedules.
Oh, tell me about it. Life can be crazy. Right now I'm running all around. Everything's just chaos, nothing but chaos.
Right. I can agree with you. You know, your schedule is just completely full. You have max to the top. You know, just never a breathing moment, you know?
Oh, yes, that is very, very true.
When should we get our vacation time, right?
Oh, man, I have a trip to Cabo next summer, and
Right.
I just can't wait for it. Just, oh, please.
Oh, sunshine and happy days, right?
Yeah.
Well, prior to this meeting, we talked over the phone about what we're going to speak in this meeting, about our materials and things like that. So you mentioned something about a sudden shift in curriculum. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you guys thought about with changing your idea, changing your shift, what that all led to.
Right now we're looking, like we said before, we're looking for a different curriculum, something new, fresh, and not quite the old school church. And we're just trying to switch it up, make it more relevant. And we talked about this in our last meeting, and some of our current suppliers of our curriculum, sometimes they're lacking as far as total quantity. We've been booking more youth missions than we ever have before, and when we run out of these resources, that screws everything up, and it makes my job just crazy. I want to pull my hair out because we have, say we're set up for 475 leaders, and then we end up having 525 leaders, and then we don't have enough material to be covered, and our supply is cut low, and then it just screws the whole process up, and I have to just wing it and end up typing up new curriculum, and I just don't want that.
Right, that probably adds to the craziness that we talked about earlier. But so basically what you're saying is that the structure of your materials and your provider that you're getting this from is probably not the most equipped. So what are you looking for after 2015 when your contract is up with them?
We're looking for our resources to improve, keep the quantity there, and if something changes, we like to have our supplier of the curriculum be able to change with that. And we want to, keep up the new developmental learning that Discovered by Youth Missions provides.
Yeah, well that sounds like you are having a great focus, but you just need that one filler, am I correct? You just need that one thing that, that you provide. I'm glad to hear that you're looking for a newfound direction and focus in your group, and I think that that's great. But I know that you mentioned earlier you're looking to acquire new development for leaders and your staff. Is that correct?
Yes, that is very true.
Well, awesome. But without a problem, I have a question for you. Who is the final purchasing decider in your organization?
Well, I'm really glad you've asked that because I don't want to waste your time or anything. I actually am the one with the final say in the purchasing decision, and I'm proud to say that. So that way we don't have to go do a little, let me talk to my manager, do the sales go about. I have the final say.
Right. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're the final purchasing person, and it's important to have everyone in the decision-making field. Although you're the head of it, I think that it's crucial for all of your members to be able to have a say and know what's going on. But I'm glad that I'm speaking face-to-face with the main person. So my other question I'd like to address to you is that your company is very financially and successfully great, right?
Yeah, thank you for your concern, Chelsey. That really means a lot coming from your company, saying that you guys care about how we're doing. We actually are making quite the profit right now, but we're giving that to charity because we are a nonprofit organization, obviously, and we are financially very, very stable. That's why we're coming to you to try to improve our curriculum, and with this financial well-being, we're trying to improve the overall experience for our youth.
Well, perfect. Now, I know that we talked about it earlier. I brought some samples that in our last meeting I told you I would bring. Each of these are a different part of our curriculum, and you can take a look over them and see what you like, and possibly feedback on what your goal for our curriculum is about. Each of those, basically, I'll give you a brief introduction of what they're all about. For instance, the first book that I see that you have is called the Student Leadership, and with that is basically it's a kit for student leaders to be able to develop in their training, develop in their values, get to know what leadership is all about without actually having to be part of it. So it's kind of like a prelude to actually being a part of a leadership team. So I think it's a great development tool for each leader, each student. It's probably good for the ranges of 18 to 25. It really nails down on the purpose of what their goal in life is and kind of guides them in that area. Now, the second book that you have in your hand is called No Growth, and basically that is for our small group ages, and I know that you don't directly, for your new focus, have a desire for small groups, but I think it's necessary, especially with what I've heard about Discover Quest, is that you have a lot of groups that come in for about a week, and I think it's great for the groups to be able to understand where they're going, understand why they're there, and I think that this booklet is a great provider for that. And I think it really helps them understand, the evidence of why they're really there. And the last that you have is a pamphlet for our new item, actually. It's called Deep Discipleship. And what that is, it's a year-long plan for members, groups, companies, whatever you want to consider, to go deeper into the meaning of how to be a disciple. And that's really actually a great tool because it only goes for it doesn't only just go for your company, or it doesn't just go for the youth leaders. They can bring it home after they've done business with you or after they've been on a trip with you, and then they can take it back to their youth group, to their company, to wherever, and then they can develop with their team members. So I think it's a great ongoing process that they have. What do you think so far as you look over?
I really like what I'm seeing. The stuff looks very new. Definitely not the old school curriculum, what I grew up as a child. I never liked doing anything with youth group. It was always boring. I had just the old man sitting there giving me a lecture, and it was do this, say this, the word of the Lord, amen,
Right.
Carry on. I do have one question for you though, however.
Yeah, go right ahead.
How exactly is the pricing on your curriculum here?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. Our prices can be ranging, but I think that compared to our competitors, we have a very fair price. Depends on, I guess, how much in stock that you want, depends on what materials that you want. If you're looking at specifically these three, basically all depends on how much you want, but for a basic, just one booklet, they range about for instance, the Leader Student Start, that goes for maybe $15 a booklet, and then our No Growth, that's for small groups, that we do a discount with because it's for a whole small group, and we do about $7.95 per book.
It's very affordable.
Yeah, and then our new Discipleship, that's a little more on the pricey end because it is a year-long program, so it does have more in-depth details and knowledge and curriculum. So we usually range that at about $95 per purchase.
Understandable.
But you can use it with the whole team, so it's not just for your own use. Does that help you?
Yeah. That's very, very good pricing, I think.
Right. So, what are you thinking of how many you'll be purchasing for?
Well, the estimates for this year, right now we're set up for about 475 leaders, 750 students, and 350 faculty members.
Okay. Well, we can definitely do that for you. I will go back to our headquarters and talk to our associates and see how fast they can get those in for you. I know that you want specifically different curriculums for each of these groups, correct?
Yeah.
Now we can converse and talk about these samples. I can help you guide and what you think suits each of these groups, and you can go back and take it to your team members, to your faculty, see what they feel about it.
That sounds like a good idea. I really like to keep everybody on the same page when I'm making a major decision such as this one.
Right. So when you go back and you talk to your faculty, debrief about it, maybe we can meet back up. Do you have a time that works for you to converse on it?
Let me check my busy schedule right here.
Okay.
How does next Wednesday at noon sound?
Next Wednesday at noon sounds great. All right. Well, I'm glad that I could continue to do business with you, and I hope to thrive with the focus that Discover Quest has, and I hope the Leader Track can be providing of it. So
We really
thank you very
appreciate
much.
your business.
Thank you.